Hello, Donna here. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to make your own tag templates. This is a very basic pattern making tutorial. I'm going to show you how to make two tag sizes. One is 60 by 120 millimeters and the other is a little one, 37 by 70 millimeters. Most people have trouble with knowing what angle to put on the top of the tag here, which is the main part of the tag, which is what makes it a tag. So we'll be working on that. And I'm going to show you 3 angles, and that will help you decide on how you're going to make your tags. What I'm going to show you to use the template today is a 250 GSM white cardboard. If you haven't got any, just use some cereal box. That is going to work perfectly. The reason we use cardboard to make a template, not paper, is so that when you lay your template down on your pretty paper and to trace around it, you've got a ridge. If you use paper, you'll see that that doesn't work so well. So use cardstock, it is really worth it. I'm going to use a quilting ruler to make the first tag, and then I'm going to use an ordinary ruler in case you haven't got a quilting ruler. The reason I like to use a quilting ruler is because I can get everything really square. So I'm going to use a red line down the side, and I'm going to put it on the side of my cardboard. I'm then just going to run a line across the top of my paper. That gives me a square. I know that my tag is going to be perfectly square. Then I'm going to swap over and measure how wide I want my tag. So this tag I want to be 60 millimeters wide, which is 6 centimeters. So I measure out 6 at the top, and I move my ruler down the page a little bit, and I measure 6 at the bottom. Then I put my pencil on that top line, and then I just let my ruler hit the lead of the pencil gently, not hard so it breaks. Then I'm going to just draw that line straight down the page. I'm going to turn my pattern piece around, and I'm going to measure down 12 centimeters or 120 millimeter. Then I'm going to put my pencil on that dot again, move the ruler up to it, and measure across the bottom. So that's given me the outline of my tag shape. Now I'm ready to come back in and make what makes this a tag. So we're going to start off by making a reasonably shallow tag. So I'm going to measure out 8 millimeters from this corner. So I'm going to put my first marker at 8 millimeters right there. I'm going to come over to the other side, and I'm going to measure back 8 millimeters this time. So that's 8 there. Right now I'm going to turn my cardboard around again, and I'm going to measure down 12 millimeters. And I'm going to measure down 12 millimeters on the opposite side. So 12 millimeters there. Then I'm going to join those 2 points up. Put my pencil on that dot, move my ruler up to the pencil, then shimmy the ruler to hit that line there and draw a line across joining those 2 dots. Same again, put the ruler on those 2 lines. You can use your pencil if you like to line it up. It's a bit hard so you can see there. Put the pencil on the dot, move the ruler to it, then swivel the ruler around until it hits that dot there. And there's your two angles. Now they're quite shallow, as in that angle is not like over here. It's not on a real hard angle. It's just on a slight slant. Now I'm going to work out where the middle is. So we need a dot. So we know it's 6 centimeters wide. I'm just going to use the bottom two areas here to mark the center. And I'm just going to put a sort of a cross there. Then I'm going to put my ruler around and make that cross a bit longer. The reason I've done that is so that when I go to put my hole there for my hole reinforcer, I don't want that to be this low. If I put a hole reinforcer right there, that will be too low. I'll get a hole reinforcer and show you why that's too low. So these are just stickers. They're white hole reinforcers and I've coloured them with distress ink. So if I was to put that there, you might think that's too low. You might want it up a bit higher. So it is entirely up to you whether you put that there. If you want it to go there, you would leave it there. So let's put this first tag with the reinforcer right there on that cross line, which was using the 12mm mark all the way across there. And that's our cross line right there. You might think that's not too low. You might like that long gap between the top of the hole reinforcer and the edge of the tag. You might be fine with that. This is a good thing about making your own patterns. You look at the whole tag and think, yeah, I can live with that. All right, so let's go on to the second one. I'll show you how to square off to the next tag without using the quilting ruler. I'm going to come out and I'm just going to mark a line here from the edge of the paper and another line here. So I'm going to put my pencil back on that line and I'm going to square it down. So now I know that that line is square to that line because I measured from there to there and there to there the same. So I know now that this little area here is square. So that line and that line is square. So now I'm going to measure out 6 again. I'm going to use the same size tag and 6 again. Put my pencil on that dot, push my ruler up to the pencil, then swivel this bottom ruler down to that bottom mark there and draw a line all the way down. Then turn my cardboard around again, measuring from the top line to the bottom. Be as accurate as you can. Top line to the bottom. Doesn't have to be on the line here. It's just got to be the same distance twice. Turn my ruler around this time instead of my paper. Put my pencil on that line and then draw across there. So I know that that whole thing is all square. Nothing is out of square. And to check it, we'll put that red line here on there and we'll put that red line on there. Okay, so that red line and that red line is now on my pencil line and it's all square. Nothing, if it was on an angle like that, you know your tag is not square. It will really show if your tag is wider at the bottom. That is what I'm talking about being square. You don't want to draw your pattern that your measurement is out by a tiny bit and the bottom of your tag is wider than the top of your tag. Now this time, instead of measuring out 8mm, we're going to measure out 10mm, so which is 1 centimetre. So I'm going to come back to the other side and measure out 10mm. I'm going to turn it around again and I'm going to use the same measurement coming down the side of the tag of 12mm. Same down the other side, 12 millimeters. Whatever you do here, you do the same there. Whatever you come down here, you come down the same here. So this is 10 and this is 12. Same again, join those two dots up. All right, see now my angle is just coming away a little bit more than that one. So I'll very quickly do one at 12 millimeters and I'll come back and show you. See the difference between the three? That one is 8, 10 and 12. When you jump from the 8 to the 12, it's very noticeable. When you gradually come up, it's not so. So if you bring that line in a little bit further, that's where the difference will be. The same here. If you were to bring this line down here, your tag shape is going to be different again. So you decide where and how you want this shape to be. But whatever you do on one side, you do it on the other. But this is just a nice general angle, this one here. I'm going to find my middle mark and I'm just going to raise it up a little bit higher this time because I don't want such a big gap between there and there. So I'm going to come up a little bit, say about there. So I'm going to make my hole reinforcer center there, not there. Then test it to see if it's too close. If it was too close, you just put this where you want it. So I think that's okay. I wouldn't want it any closer. Probably, if anything, bring it down just a tad. So this one over here, you might go, okay, Goldilocks, just right. Okay, so you place it wherever you like. So that's 60 by 120 millimeter tag. The small tag we're going to make is 37 by 70 millimeters. So I'm just going to use the corner area. So I'm going to measure out 37 here and 37 here and draw a line down between the two. Turn my cardboard around, measure down 70 and join the bottom two lines up. I'm going to come in 8 millimeters on this one because I don't need a very deep angle here, and I'm going to come in 8 on the other side. I'm going to come down 10 millimeters, not 12. Turn that around, it's easier to see. Turn your work around however's easiest for you. So there's my 10 millimeter mark and join the two. Draw a line across the center. Now find your center. I've got a center ruler, so I would almost use that in this situation. So I will find my center. Other than that, you would just measure. There's my center mark. I'm going to draw my line back up the center again and work out whether or not that would be the position of my reinforcement hole or whether or not I want to put it any lower. So that works pretty well for me. Same rule applies. If you want that angle on more of an angle, instead of there, you want it more like that, just measure that line out closer that way and deeper. But that is a good angle for this tiny little tag. Now all that's left to do is cut your tags out. You would normally just have one tag. You wouldn't really need too many tags with, these are very similar in angle at the top, so you would just choose one. Now I'll show you how to make a a hole reinforcer that gives you a color like this. So you've got your manila folder or your colored cardboard. Just need to get another color cardboard that's a contrasting color, and either a 1/4 inch for the bigger tags, or you can use your crocodile for the smaller tags. I always punch my small hole first. So you just put that in, cut your small hole first, then get a circle punch. I use a smaller circle punch for the little tag here, and I use a bigger circle punch for the bigger tag. So we'll just make one for the smaller tag today. Push it down upside down. So these are really easy to make if you've got a small hole punch and a small circle punch. If not, just use your stickers. I just get the plain white ones and colour them myself. I'll cut these two out, seeing they're together. I'm cutting them right on the black line. Congratulations, you are now a pattern maker. You now know how to make your own tag templates. If you have any questions, if you have anything you're unsure of on the angles or the measurements or anything at all, don't hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section below, because I am online every day, all the time. So I'm happy to help you out, happy to answer any of your questions. I'm Donna. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.